Good morning, everybody. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. This is Art to the Round Table. My name is Mello. Today we're going to put some paint on this Hank McCoy beast. I'm going to be using gouache as always. And while I wait for this acrylic wash to do its thing, I wanted to use this small 3x5. I think this is 3x5. I don't know how to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, that's 7. 5x7. Ooh, your boys visuals are just no bueno. And one of my chat homies, DW, or Drawing While Talking, he mentioned about trying to draw, or suggested I draw the Hobgoblin. So I'm thinking I might just do a quick little drawing to see if I can I don't know what he really looks like. They've had several variations. I think he has like scaly eyes, long nose, creepy face, right? And a hood. So, let's see how much of that I can do on this while the acrylic wash. But anyway, good morning, you guys. It's Monday. So say what's up when you jump on, if you want to. All right, so let's have him look over his shoulder. Torn shirt, torn hoodie. Obscured. That's his arm. Well, you guys can't even see that. Trust me, it's in there. Kinda. It's a little bright this morning here in my office. All right. This is probably my go-to pose for portraits. Does his ears? I'm gonna have to Google, not Google. Yeah, go through Google and Pinterest to see what he looks like. I think he's just a angry elf, big creepy eyes. The ones that I saw, he has like scaly eyebrows. I'm just roughly trying to put in the Loomis, or the Riley, I think it's called. With the rhythms, it's Riley. Do we want it to look like a mask? Or we can do whatever we want. Monday Madness. Yeah, I don't know that much about the character anymore, or his origins. I just kind of remember him going into a really weird place when near the end of McFarlane's run. Yeah, remember that? And they had to get the Ghost Rider involved. make him smile, and why not? But yeah, we know that apparently Ned Leeds, right? The Ned in the Tom Holland Spider-Man, that character that he plays eventually becomes Hobgoblin. I don't think they'll ever go that route. I have to move his ear up here. I'm trying to be loose because I'm going to do what I normally do is just add some tone with some darker pencils and then smudge everything, smudge it up, and then use my eraser to but I mean, this could just be the Green Goblin. I'm always trying to make these things appear cinematic or something, or just give it some oomph, not just to draw it out, but sometimes this composition is very bleh. It's used more for me as a warm-up. But it must be difficult to be a character that's a derivative of another character and try to be interesting. Hey TV girl, good morning, how are you? Just messing around before I start painting. Oh, sorry about that noise. And I wasn't expecting to do so much drawing this morning. Wild food. Good morning. Speaking of wild food, more exotic, this weekend went to a flea market in Jacksonville and bought jackfruit. You guys know what a jackfruit is? I should go grab it so you can see how ginormous this thing is. We bought jackfruit. We bought... Oh, what the heck? We bought some sweet sop. We bought some mangosteens. Fruit that looks like a heart. A green fruit. I keep forgetting the name of it. Oh yeah, a cherimoya. Delicious. TV Girl says I'm doing great. How are you? I am doing fantastic. Day older, but none the wiser. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for asking. All right. Have you guys seen me do my smudging before? It's gonna get messy. You've heard of jackfruit before, never had tried one. Me either. They don't look very appetizing, but apparently, are you guys familiar with the gum flavor juicy fruit? Apparently that's what they taste like. Maybe. They're hearing so many different things about those type of flavor fruits. But the cherimoya, I read that it has a mix of banana, pineapple, and vanilla custard. I am excited to try that. I really can't figure out what the jackfruit's supposed to taste like. All right, I want to at least get some realistic shadows. You guys familiar with these faces, with these little figurines? This is from a company called Milong, M-I-L-O-N-G. Comes in a box, a set of 4. I love these things. They do help with the planes of the face, the muscles. But I use them mostly just so I can get accurate shading. All right, so what I'm doing, I have overhead light. So if I cover, you guys aren't able to see it. Maybe if I flip the camera. So what I'm doing is if I cover it a little bit, you still can't really see it. I'm trying to give him a hat. Anyway, the idea is that I'm trying to get a dynamic shadow, but I may not be able to, I may have to imagine it. So if this is heavy, what I really want, I want his eye to kind of like glow. So I'm gonna put that. That's gonna be dark under the nose. Shading here under the mouth. I'm just trying to do a lot of. I'm gonna have to move the camera again. Some rough lines and definitions around the faces, so when I smudge, I can still see them. Give him some texture in the face. And then I'm going to, when I smudge everything off, when I rub all the graphite all over the artboard, I can still see some of my guidelines. What's up, DW? Good morning. This one's actually for you, bud. A rough. This is a rough of the hobgoblin. I haven't done a lot of research since you brought him up. So I'm trying to just kind of wing it based on the last time I looked at a comic with the hobgoblin in it. But I'm just waiting for, oh, it's done. Okay, so let's do this pretty quick because I want to do some painting today. I'm going to try to be respectful of everybody's time today and do what I'm supposed to do. I will be back in the afternoon. All right, so if the light is from up there, all right, y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? Cotton swab, artboard, and here we go. At this point, I don't care. Not that I don't care, but you'll see. This is the same exact technique that I've used to draw the beast here. I'm gonna grab this. I may not use the electric eraser, but it may mainly be a kneaded eraser. Yeah, so the top. So let's do. And it's basically negative drawing. Removing graphite to show texture and light. He hates smudging. Well, why does he hate the smudging? Does he just not like the mess? We can convert him. This technique, I think it's mainly used, honestly. I fell into it from learning how to use charcoal. Yeah, graphite everywhere. I hear you. I understand. I understand. It can get a little bit messy. I want some of his eye here. Maybe what'll make it creepy is that he's hidden in the shadow of his hoodie. Alright. I didn't go as dark here. I usually go 2B on a 2B pencil and then a 6B. And then do the process all over again. But this is a good way, guys. If you guys have pieces of paper or tone paper, the way Wild Food is suggesting, and knock out some quick drawings, quick tonal drawings. Alright, so let's see. Let's do a real quick 6B. Yes, to be or not to be. Ooh, something cool going on. I signed up. I'm following this group on Instagram called Drawing Together. It's a group here locally in Florida, in Jacksonville. And they're doing an art show. Superheroes. Right up my wheelhouse. And tons of artists are joining. Tons of artists have done it before. I'm kind of like late to the party. I'm so happy that I found them. And they're doing hundreds of people will be joining. I hope it's that big. And I will be joining them on their little art show. And you get to choose, while it's available, all these heroes. Heroes only, I think. I don't think I've seen any villains. Anti-heroes, though, because I saw Deadpool. I guess he's a hero now. And I got Jane Foster. I claimed Jane Foster's Thor. I think she's Mighty Thor. Considering I've been doing I've been doing Valkyries and warrior women, so I figured stay in my lane for now. TV Girl says, wait, I got the pencil you have right now, but I thought they were all the same. They might be, TV Girl, you might have to check. They all may be. You may just have to check. You'll see numbers on the bottom here. That's a 4B. This is a 6B. You may have to check. When I was purchasing these woodless lead pencils, there are some that'll have the same weight in pencil, or I don't know, grade, pencil grade. The show, the drawing with friends in Jacksonville, September the 12th. And it's cool, so I get to draw an 11 by 17 comic book size pinup of Jane Foster, the Mighty Thor, and people can bid. Oh, not bid. I think people can buy it. They'll buy a copy of it. And what's really cool, this is the really cool part about it. It's $20. $20 buys you the print, and the artist gets half of that, and the other half goes to the nonprofit that runs the stuff, which I think is pretty cool. I like it because I'm trying to do some networking, man. I need to meet some people, some artists. And that was one of my goals this year. One of my goals for the year was to meet as many artists as possible and introduce myself and collaborate if I can. Meet them, nurture those friendships, that type of stuff. I, for many years, been a introvert artist. All the stuff that I did was for me only. Hanging in my walls or in my social circles, which was very small. Sharing with family that really don't support. Hey, attaboy, give me the attaboys, but don't really do anything. DW, I don't know if they'll have online purchasing. That's actually kind of cool. Maybe I can, I'll ask them. I will ask, because that would be kind of cool. All right, let's see. I don't want to do all of the scales. Just enough. Because all I'm really thinking when I'm drawing these scales is how cool it would look to have droplets of light within those. Yeah, see, doesn't that look more like just the Green Goblin? I guess it's going to happen with the coloring. Another smudge to get DW's friend upset. You think so? Well, I tell you what, D-dubs, the hobgoblin's in my heart. Because I don't... Maybe I am confusing the look. Because if you look at... They're both very similar. The only thing different, in my opinion, is the color scheme. Am I missing something? Unless you're referring to a hobgoblin from somewhere else. I'm not arguing with you. There was one storyline that had him looking very... almost like he wasn't even wearing a mask anymore. Because I thought, if I recall, it was just a thief who had stumbled upon the Green Goblin's equipment. That'd be kind of creepy, right? To leave the top part of his face in shadow. Just leave a glint from the eye. Ooh. Well, the goblin's in the eye of the beholder. You guys have a good weekend. Shout it out what you did. What I'm doing is I'm just pushing down on the eraser so I can get these markings so that when I paint, when I put the wash over everything, I won't lose that detail. Because there's no reference of color or anything, I have to kind of like rely on what's on the paper. On the artboard here, I can follow those as best as I can, and it'll give it some oompage. We're always looking for oompage. What's up, Jane here? Good morning. All right, let's paint the scales here. Create some. A little dab will do ya, just like cologne, fellas. A little dab will do ya. Don't take 2 baths. Don't shower and then shower with cologne. Little dab will do ya. You see, man, birthday was on Friday. I'm already wiser. Learned in the ways of you the toilets. If you draw this stuff and you don't find yourself cackling evilly, you're not doing it right. Well, he has a hood and a cape. He ignored Edna. I was watching that. Yesterday. Edna mode. Oh, man. I almost jumped on Friday. My wife was like, "Are you going to do a birthday stream?" I'm like, No. I wanted to hang out with my wife on. We almost got caught, man. We almost got caught staying in the house. We almost got caught death scrolling on our phones. And then she said, "Let's get the heck out of here." The weather was holding up. It was a 50-50 chance that it was going to rain. But it's Florida in the summer, so 50-50 is actually kind of low. It's usually 80%. And we went to the beach. We went to Jacksonville Beach near Neptune. We walked. It was nice. And then we went to this Cuban cafe. In Jacksonville. That was delicious, man. Thursday, yes. So Thursday, I did my Friday stream on Thursday because my birthday was on Friday. And we went to this place called the Zen Dumpling near here where I live. Again, if you guys have not had soup dumplings, they're delicious. is something it's so difficult to explain, and it's just so unique and amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And then we hung out. What did we do? We came home. I think we played video games. The wife and I played DayZ. No, we did that on Friday. I died, revived, made my way back. But Friday was the bomb. Ah, yes. It's Al Williamson's sketchbook. Go grab it. I was looking at it last night. All right, what do you think, man? Not too shabby. I'm going to spray this with fixative, and then I will cover it in gouache, and then I think there's too much glint in the eye. It needs to be smaller than that. So here's how you erase. Just re-smooge. I just need a glint right there. Maybe two, so you can see where it has. If you put two, you can kind of see where the pupil may be. Pupil.
We'll meet again, Spider-Man.
So, the book that I picked up. All right, we good with this? Right? I think so. Maybe we could paint it, depending on how far I get with my beast painting. I'll spray it this afternoon, and maybe we could do it for, maybe we can do it for, this afternoon or on Wednesday. Me gusta. The brand is an AFMAT. Do I recommend it? Yes, absolutely. Especially for what you just saw me do. And I use it for regular pencil art on regular paper. It's rechargeable, so you don't have to worry about batteries. It has a USB and one of those old school Thunderbolts. Oh man, you guys have put me to work today. But yes, do I recommend it? Absolutely. I could try to find the link for this. You can go to a bunch of stores. I'm a frugal dude. Try to get the cheapest one you can, honestly. As long as it's rechargeable, it's going to treat you right. You're going to be okay with it. You know what I'm saying? Let me see here. It's 91. Did it charge? Yeah, see? Boom, charging up. It holds a charge for a long time. It's actually really good. What else? All right. I'll put this aside. What brand? So yes, that's an AFMAT. I'll see if I can find the link for it. I don't remember when I bought it. I always go through these phases of I'm gonna do nothing but charcoal and pencils, and I'll buy that stuff just for that. Put my stuff away. And then TV Girl says, Would you mind giving me a challenge to draw? I'm learning how to draw realistic drawings. Give me a character and I will try to draw it. You want to try to draw something realistically. You already found it on Amazon? Fantastic. Dang! Hold on, let me, no, just kidding. Let me put the link up so I can get that commish. No, I'm just kidding. I'll have to do it after the fact. But I'm glad you found it. I hope you find that it helps you as much as it helps me. I've used it in about everything. Sharpening up this thing, I've used it. See the sharpness around the hat on old Indy there? Using it with a ruler. Getting a sharper on the jars. There's a bit of a learning curve of it, of course. All right. So, let me see here. So, TV girl, what is it that you're trying to draw? Are you trying to do figures? Are you trying to do portraits? If that's what you want to learn, let's go with portraits first, and then I'll try to find a place that you can get. Because the figure drawing stuff is just get a site, go to a site, or even Pinterest, and do a bit of searching. Problem with those is that you end up spending more time searching than you do finding the item you want. So, if you want to do faces, if you want to learn how to do portraits, there's a portrait training Instagram group that I follow. Portrait training, I think I've shared this before, and what they do is they'll give you, every couple of days or so, they'll give you images already, and some of them will have the guidelines to it, which is a great way to learn for the measurements of the face. And what's good about something like this is that it removes the should I draw that? What am I going to draw? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? It removes that moment of searching and uncertainty. You just grab one or two of the ones that they share and practice it. What's good about it is that it'll give you those measurements. It also gives you the same image without the guidelines. So once you get the guides and the measurements in place, scroll until you see the pictures without the guidelines. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, yes, sketch guide. They do tons of these, male and female. They don't use any AI art, no AI faces, if that's the thing that you're worried about. Because I know if you go into... Yes. If you go into Pinterest, you're going to be going back and forth in the sense of, is this real? Is it AI? Is it not? If that's one of the things that bothers you. It don't bother me at all. If I go on Pinterest and I see a figure or a face that looks interesting, real or otherwise, drawn already, it has something that's appeal, and I'm like, I think I can try to incorporate that later on in a painting, or I want to see if I can copy that or learn that. I'm gonna do it. Anyway, I gotta charge my phone. But yeah, that's the worst part. The worst part, TV girl is always trying to find what to draw. So, I hope that kind of helps. Plus, I'm going to be, I've been mentioning it a lot on some of these Wednesday workshops, as I'm trying to create a rhythm of madness, right? For us to be looking forward to on my streaming days. I think on the workshops on Wednesdays. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, look at the size of that boot. Anyway, on those workshop Wednesdays, I want those to be the days where you guys can ask a question. Hey, just that. How do we draw this part of the figure? How do we draw the whole figure? How we do in a relaxed pose, an action pose, those type of things. And I'll break out all my figurines. We'll see if we can pose them in a way that and we'll go through that process. If that is something that you guys would like to do, hit me up on the comments, hit me up on the chats, let me know that's what you guys want to do. I read everything you guys leave behind, I really do. And I try to cater to that type of stuff. I mean, I'm always going to be drawing cartoons and painting comic characters and pulp stuff, but if I can show you guys the steps, how I come up with the shapes and figures and the poses, I'll do it. I'll do it. All right. And so this is the thing I found on that flea market. Why did I buy it? If it's just a bunch of unfinished drawings and notes, because it makes a great companion piece to this one. I've had this one for a while. You don't get these really to copy. You almost get them, I get them anyway, to see what they're thinking. I'm trying to reverse engineer their thought processes. It sometimes has a lot of really cool candid conversations between the author and the artist. So you learn more about their candidness of even, oh yeah, that's just something I was messing around with. They have no emotional attachment to these on some of these, which is really great. It goes to show that you don't need an emotional attachment to all the stuff that you do, is to either to keep moving forward, keep your creative journey moving forward. And take notes, write notes. He even signed his sketches. Like, I would love to see that rough. So anyway, that's why I got it. Just because it's freaking cool. You can see some amazing brushwork. And how rough the sketches are. Anyway, it's really cool. And then you begin to recognize some of the things that from finished pieces. You get to see where they started from. You gotta be careful how much of this stuff you show. Yeah, that's cool. Battlestar Galactica in the bottom. So anyway, that's why I was able. When I go to these comic book stores, sometimes I have no idea what I want. I'm just waiting for something to grab my attention. And they had a couple of other books. Art of Dan Diodoto, I think it was. No, Mike Diodoto? Nope. It was somebody. Mike somebody. But this caught my eye. I love his artwork. Al Williamson's artwork. I have a ton of Weird Science from EC Comics. And it was really cool going in here. What's really cool, is that this is an actual conversation with the artist and the interview going, oh, so tell me a little bit about the image on this page. Would you know, this, that. He drew these, Al Williamson drew these when he was 16 years old. But then he had some amazing teachers, like he studied with Hogarth, with Bern Hogarth on Saturdays, and then became his inker or his artist with him, cleaning stuff up. Like, that's nuts. He worked with Frazetta, he worked with Wally Wood. That's Al Williamson's artwork, inked by Frank Frazetta. For funsies, yeah, he was 16. For funsies, Yeah, we just thought it was something fun to do. Yes, I penciled it and Frank inked it. It was just something done for our amusement. It was not done for any job. And then this one here, his pencils and Wally Wood inking. Nuts, man.
Nuts.
A lot of the same similar character types. A lot of them may be Flash Gordon. He has the same type of helmet and visage. Isn't that cool? I have some images digital of his Flash Gordon run. But you get to learn a lot, how quickly. A lot of this stuff, you can almost tell the speed that he jotted this down. These are just ideas or something that he threw together. Man, I love that punch. Doesn't it look like this dude just eating ice cream in his undies? Can we all be like that? That's hilarious.
It's a trap.
He George Lucas wanted him, after seeing some of his work on EC Comics and some of their science fiction stuff, he asked him, I think he was trying to have him do his Star Wars stuff. Isn't that cool? Anyway, that's the book I got. Okay, shall we paint? Well, the sun's out. Sun's out, guns out. See if I can put my big dome in the way. Yeah, it's really cool that from the interviewer and the artist is actually really cool to see. He's like, I don't know how old the book is, but he's like, yeah, that was probably done in 51, 52. Some of the stuff he can't remember. It was for something. All right. I don't think I'm going to put it on the platform, but I could do this. Now I'm going to have to draw my head on the side or close my shade. Is it going to bother? Yes, it is. It's getting warm now. I had to close my shades. That was quick. All right, so Beast looks wild. Oh, a wild the Beast? Huh? Oh, that's terrible. All right, this is the same palette of colors that I had for last weekend, last Thursday. It's a little dry and not too bad. I should be okay using those. I'm still want to play with the glowing effect that I've been messing around with lately. So let's see if I can gonna need more blue. Absolutely. We're gonna need a bigger boat. What's up, Map? How you doing, bro? Mike? Dude, I had a crazy weekend. I haven't had a chance to scan those, but I haven't forgotten about you. Every time that I see them next to me, I'm like, scan it in, so you can send it to you. So I haven't forgotten about you. So we're gonna see about doing the opposite of this, where the character is gonna be mainly blue, and he's gonna be engulfed in this bright orange and yellow. Cool, cool. And for this one, I was gonna do the opposite, right? Yellowish with I forget what color face he got. It's purple arms. I'm gonna have to look at the color scheme for the hobgoblin. All right. I thought I was ready. I'm never ready. Not those. I don't think I'm gonna need everything here. Yellow. Yes. His face is yellow? Yes. Yes, it is. All right. You know, I was watching the Spider-Man. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that the kiddos are sick. Ain't nothing worse as a parent to have sick kids. It doesn't matter how old they are. I don't have kids anymore. My kids are 20 and 30. 20s and 30. But even still, they get a case of the sniffles. You want some soup? You want me to take care of you? So I can imagine if you got youngins. All right. Let's see. You guys, let's work on that glow first. And I'm going to take this off. Yeah, it's still fantastically moist and smooth using this wet palette. Fantastic. All right. Let's stop messing around. I gotta work with this here. But I need a bigger brush. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know how much more to say about the wet palette. I feel like I've been saying it almost every stream, but it really has changed the way I paint in terms of confidence of waiting and knowing that, or getting the paint that I want, the colors that I want. I don't care for the details on the arms because I want it to look just like whatever that is, whatever this motion is in terms of art. I want that. Wild Food, does the plastic container keep your gouache from drying out? Yes. Inside that container there is a sponge and a sheet of like what they call palette paper. It's very thin hydro palette paper. Let me see if I can. So that's the sponge. You just put the sponge in there, get it soaked up, and it's airtight. So once you close it, you're good to go. Again, this is the same color, same paints that I've used all last week. And the reason I like it, again, my room is warm. It's humid here in Florida, so I'm constantly fighting against my paints drying out. I don't care if they dry quickly on the palette. It's almost beneficial. I mean, not on the palette, on the artboard. It doesn't dry so quickly that you can't blend the way I'm able to there. If they turn fuzzy with a penicillin smell? Oh, you mean the gouache? No, man. The reason why I rather use this, because it's so easy to just chuck. When I was using my Hemi gouache, which was the first gouache paints that I was messing with, they got a little, they grew into puberty so quickly, if you know what I'm saying. Them things got hairy, and then I try to like salvage some by only throwing the, I'm like, forget it. Forget it. Which is freaking gross. So no, I have not had any problems with this getting moldy or funky. I don't leave it there that long. A couple of days, and you see how I don't really put that much paint on the palette itself. Just enough. But it does keep it very well, not too moist, but well enough that I can use them. All right. The only thing I have to worry about is when I clean my brush, I almost have to make sure I dry it off, because then the brush will add too much water and make the paint too translucent or too runny. But it's nothing that nothing has happened with these to the point where you can't use them. That's reds. But yeah, I'm glad I found them. I'm glad I kind of like went for it to buy it. All right, I gotta be careful here. It has changed the way I've painted. Yeah, that was one of the things, the whole mold thing, that really turned me off against Hemi. And it could just been the container, and I've tried a bunch of different things to keep it from getting gross like that, from using saran wrap and using distilled water, all of those things that you can do and try. I have a Wolverine painting drawing that I took from Sal Buscema. A lot of this is kind of like a test to see if I can do it, because I want him to come out of like a deep red haze, as if he's in his berserker rage. And if I can find a way, I did it with a Hulk piece I did where he was coming out of the rubble. But your boy didn't take any notes, so I can't tell you how the frick I was able to pull that off. To do this little blend that I'm doing here, I don't know if you guys can see it. I just have a very, almost kind of damp brush. So I'm going to clean it. First I clean it and then remove as much water. Test it on my hand. And all I'm trying to do is kind of activate the darker color and then blend downwards towards the yellow, because I don't mind that green. I want it to transition, and then I'm going to redo that yellow burst of explosive diarrhea in the back. No, I'm kidding. That leaves me room for transitions and contrast in a bit. Too much water. See that? How it kind of like just erased. Then I'm gonna let it dry a bit. Getting my brush because I don't want. Then later, when all this dries, I can go back and do that same technique, and then those colors hopefully will pop. And all of this painting technique stuff is just really trial and error. This blending technique, I stole it outright from an amazing gouache painter by the name of Ruth Wilshaw. She does amazing gouache paintings, like fantasy style, forest and like fairy looking, very beautiful, atmospheric paintings, which I would love to do. I just don't think I have it in me. I think some of my aesthetics is a little too rough, even though I would love to learn how to do the glows that she does. So, but she does this blending technique that softens the background using blues and greens. That becomes the basis. The basis? Is that right? The base of everything else. And then she just layers on top, and it's amazing. And I've tried to follow along. But again, I got the YouTube attention span. just a bit.
Children of the atom.
All right, we're doing good. We're doing all right. I'm gonna move my camera here. All right. I'm going to use a kind of like a dark purple for the bases of his shadow of the beast, with just a hint of black. And the reason why I do that, it allows for, in my opinion, more depth in the shadows. So I try to mark my shadows as best as I could. So that's what I'm gonna do here. One of the things that I did, I did a redraw of a beast. And this is like the third time I've done beast. I tried to do the hairs individually, and that was a mistake. A lot of feathering, and it just came out muddy in my opinion. So, I'm gonna see if I can help myself and not do that again. What's cool is that in a bit, the color on this brush is going to start, see how it's kind of like dissipating? I can use that now to start lightly blending and getting a little bit more creative with these brush strokes. I can start already, kind of like the hairy look. Hairy look. Beast, Hank McCoy, was never one of my favorite X-Men. I honestly, I'm not that old. I didn't grow up with the original X-Men, right? We caught them after the fact. A lot of my love for the X-Men came, like most people, during Jim Lee's run and then the cartoon. And I loved that version of the Beast to the point where that actor, that voice actor, is the only voice I hear now whenever I read a book that has Beast in it. And I don't think he gets that much love, man. They've tried to change him so much, made him look like a hairy ape, a cat. I don't know what he's supposed to be, but... And it's super tragic, right? The whole point of him having the blue fur was because he was embarrassed by his appearance. And he's an intelligent scientist. Thought he can fix it. $12 right? It's 11. How much time? Sorry guys, my producer's yelling in my ear about time management. 11:15. Okie dokes. Well, see if I can do this shadow. I'm gonna have to cut this stream short, guys, but I will be back later on this afternoon. But anyway, what was I? Beast, voice actor, Flam Flam. Yeah, man, and even with that said, I would still love for them to give these characters the original X-Men. How come they haven't had their movie of the original X-Men, right? Beast, Angel, Jean Grey, Iceman, Cyclops. It's getting a little dry, a little moisture. I'm gonna close my cap. All right. I'm still gonna have to go back and redo these shadow marks, but I'm digging the way they look. Even with these, now I can begin to play with some of this. And make it a bit more... I'm not looking for... not detailed, that's not the word I'm looking for, but to have more depth. You don't want just... unlike inking, you don't want the shadow to just be black. You want to kind of like build into that form, which is what I'm trying to do. Yeah, even the first class film wasn't really the OG. No, man. No, they I don't know. Everything, you almost have to take it with a grain of salt. So, because Mystique was never an X-Man. Get out of here. I get it. I understand. They have a Oscar-winning actress. They did the same with Halle Berry and Storm. But it's like, I'm just not that huge of a fan of Jennifer Lawrence. Nothing against her. Maybe it's her choice of movies. I want to stay using this flat brush for some of this stuff because I don't want to get too precise just yet. Let's work on this face. This is the same style D-dubs that I'm going to use when I paint that hobgoblin there. I didn't scan this or take a picture of it. No, that's a lie. I did take a picture. I did took a picture. Nope. want the majority of his face to be in shadow, but I don't want to mess around too much. Here we go, that. I don't know who my dog is barking at, by the way. There's nobody there. I'm gonna grab, when I come back, I'm gonna grab the other beast painting I did. Maybe I'll do another redo. I did a redo of my first 3 gouache paintings, which were Cyclops, Jean Grey, and the Beast. And I was cribbing on Jack Kirby's art style just to not sweat it. Alright, it's a little dry here. Alright. I'm trying to stay within my shadows from my pencils. I'm gonna wipe it down a little bit. I put too much water on my brush this time. You can tell the difference. How it doesn't stick. Boo this man. Alright. But it's alright. I remember people were like, oh yeah, Beast is Wolverine's dad, or they're related because they had the same hairstyle. No, do you want to build a snowman, Iceman? No, I didn't do Iceman. No love for Iceman for whatever reason. I should. Alright, so it looks like I grabbed some of the white there. Oh, I got some time. Yeah. My brush mixed with some of that yellow and turned on me. I'm trying to stay. I can't see my pencil marks anymore here. I remember forever they thought Sabretooth was Wolverine's dad. Alright, not too bad, not too bad. Ooh! Butterfingers. But can we say though, that Kelsey Grammer as Beast was such an easy choice and the best choice? He even looked good in the makeup, which they couldn't really do that with a Nicholas Hoult, right? Too much water. See what happens when you get too much water? It doesn't do anything but just erase underneath. So now I gotta wait. We haven't done anything really here. That's the same background color. So it already because of color theory. Has some life in there. All right. I'm just using whatever I have on my brush here to get some form here. And let's get some pizzazz here. I didn't clean my brush. Oh well. Would you say you gotta draw them with Beast and Darth Vader and Wolverine as Luke? Ah, that's funny. Just messing around with some rim lighting here. I don't care that is dark. That'll add a layer for me to build upon. Yeah, right here. What's up, Luca? You want to say hi to the people? Is that a no? I guess that's a no. I just wanted to pop. And now all I know, as soon as we hit the blue, that yellow and that orange is going to be the bee's knees. Best thing about it is that it's not turning green. Not yet, anyway. Alright, that gives me a platform. Oh, you know what, man? You know what that looks like? Maybe for... I don't really do Inktober. I don't really enjoy all of the prompts that they provide. Some of them are a little bit too demonic. They take Inktober and they make it seem like it's just Halloween orientated because of the starkness of the black and white, but it's not like I don't like horror or movies like that, but I'm thinking I might do the Monster Squad. I'm getting a lot of Wolfman's Got Nards here. The bee's knees. Oh, D-dubs. That's hilarious. And I forgot to hit record again. All right. So I am going to go and call it for this morning. Sorry for the short stream. I will be back this afternoon. I'm thinking about maybe 1:30, 2 o'clock. So I'm going to leave it as is. I'm not going to add anything, I promise. And I'll see you in a couple hours. Appreciate you guys. This is Arts of the Round Table. My name is Mello. God bless you, love you, mean it. Until later this afternoon, I'll draw you later. Bye.